Hello everybody and welcome to another Mail Art Monday. In today's video I am using supplies from the Your Creative Studio May kit. I did an unboxing and I will leave a link or a card for you to be able to click on that to see the unboxing if you're interested in seeing that as well. But basically I am just going to be making some letter paper for myself. I am using these bigger papers that were included in the kit to just basically get them ready for letter writing. I'm not making any envelopes. I'm just decorating these papers to use for letter paper, and you're gonna see kind of what I'm going for at the end. Kind of like in the last minute, you'll see the image of what I was trying to execute. But basically, the supplies in this kit had a very 18th century stationery feel. And so that's kind of where I'm going. But I want to be able to use all of the supplies that were included in the kit. So right now I'm just using the washi, and I'm going to be using the stamps a lot. And of course that gorgeous pen that writes so well. I swear I have quite a few very nice pens, fountain pens and dip pens. And this one is hands down probably my most favorite to write with. The nib is just perfect and it is an absolute dream and pleasure to write with. So I know that this weekend was filled with quite a bit of big news. Not only did we have the SpaceX launch with the 2 astronauts going into space, we're also still trying to figure out how we're going to fight and win the war on the coronavirus. And now our country is being, and pretty much our world is being torn apart by racism and the protests, which are completely justified in my opinion, and unfortunately the riots and the crime that has been happening along with that. It's absolutely heartbreaking, and I just want to take this opportunity to share a story with you that happened to me personally. This is something that happened to me a few months ago, probably even like 6 or 7 months ago, so nothing serious was going on in the fight for racism, but it was just like an everyday experience that is just absolutely heartbreaking. But where I live in my neighborhood, we have a gas station that is literally in the middle of our neighborhood. It's where all of the locals go. When you walk in, everybody that works there knows you, and it's just a quick place to go in and grab a water, grab a Red Bull, grab a snack, and keep going about your day on your way out to town. So on this particular day, I noticed that there was a kid walking down the sidewalk to get to this particular gas station. It was a black child. He was probably, I don't know, 13 or 14, maybe even 15. He was too young to drive because he was walking. And I had made it into the gas station in my car just slightly before, and I was choosing my selections, and in comes this child. And I'm going to call him a child because he was a child. And I had my purse on me, which is a pretty large purse, and this child had on one of those like string backpacks. You guys know what I'm talking about, that the strings go over your shoulders and it's basically just like a pouch on the back. And the employee of this store asked this child to remove his backpack before he entered the store. And I heard what was going on. I kind of turned around with my my selections in my hands, and I looked at this child, and he looked at her, and he said, I'm not gonna leave my belongings at the front of this store or outside. I'm just not gonna do that. And she said, you need to take that bag off and you need to leave it at the front of the store. And I was just kind of in shock for a second, and I kind of had that like that just really uncomfortable feeling where you stay silent because you just don't want to be involved in anything. And almost as quickly as that feeling took over me, my mother bear instinct took over, and I spoke up and I said to this woman, what about my purse? You did not ask me to leave my purse at the front of this store. And the child walked in to get a bottle of water because he was on his way to the tennis courts that are just down the street. And I know this for a fact because I went to another store, and on my way back, I could see that child on the tennis courts playing. And when I spoke up, she kind of looked at me and she was like, well, it's your purse. I'm not going to ask you to leave your purse with all your things in the front of the store. And I said, well, why would you ask him to leave all of his belongings in the front of the store? He was wearing gym shorts and a tank top. He was clearly on his way to go play at the playground or at the tennis courts. His cell phone, his wallet, his money, everything was inside of this little drawstring backpack. And this child looked at me and he said, it's okay. This happens all the time. It's fine. And just sort of bent his head down, grabbed the money out of his backpack, and paid for his bottle of water so that he could hydrate himself while he was innocently playing. And my blood was just absolutely boiling at the injustice that this child had to deal with, and that it was a normal, regular thing, and that his response was, thank you, but this happens all the time. And I just, like, I couldn't even function. I just looked at this woman with blood boiling, and I was just absolutely blown away. And I left, and she no longer works there. I can't say that I had anything to do with that, but she does not work there anymore. But yeah, it's just absolutely disgusting, the injustice that community has to deal with on a regular basis. And that it was, my white privilege was in my face as clear as day in that scenario, and it just absolutely made me sick. So to see everybody protesting right now to stand up for their rights and their right to survive and to live and to walk around the world, it absolutely breaks my heart that even has to be a thing. And it absolutely breaks my heart that the police officers right now that have to deal with that are suffering, because most of them, all of them, are there to protect the protesters, and the rioters are kind of coming in and taking control of the situation and ruining it and putting everybody's life in danger. And it's just absolutely heartbreaking. Most people don't know this about me, but I actually grew up in an interracial household. My father is a black man, and he's the most incredible man I've ever known in my entire life. I have 2 interracial sisters that are the most beautiful women in the world, and it absolutely makes me sick that my family has to deal with this. I have an entire side of my family that is black, and it breaks my heart that my family, people that I love, my friends, have to deal with the racism that just flows through everyday life the way they do. It just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, for the police officers and the people that have to come in and make order out of chaos, but still have to stand up for what they believe in. I have quite a few family members and friends that are police officers or in police officer families, and it breaks my heart because they stand with the injustice. They want to be standing with the protesters and protesting, and I've seen so many photos and videos of police officers standing with the protesters and joining the walks and standing up for the rights, and it's just being overshadowed right now by the rioting and the crime, and it's just absolutely heartbreaking. So I just wanted to share my story and my thoughts and my experience, and just help wake people up to what has been happening in our country forever, from the beginning of time. And I hope that my children, are the generation that changes it. I hope that we are able to break this mentality, and bring light and justice to every person on this planet. So I hope that you have enjoyed the video. I hope that my views did not ruin this. I'm probably going to lose 1,000 subscribers on this alone, but I just had to make my voice heard and my voice known and my opinion known, because it's important to stand up for what you believe in, and this felt important. It feels important and relevant, and I hope that you are able to do something that will inspire change. So All that being said, I hope that you like the end result of these letters that I made today. I had a lot of fun doing them, making them look like little scrolls. I think it's really fun. These stickers are super fun, and the supplies were super fun, and I just really enjoyed it. So I hope that you are able to sit down and write a letter today and enjoy the first day of June. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch you later. Bye!